Hello everybody and welcome to this Sims 3 house remodeling video. Now today I'm remodeling a house in Sunset Valley called Americana, and it is this giant, it's not only giant, but pretty large yellow home on the corner right behind City Hall in Sunset Valley, so it's pretty close to the center of Sunset Valley. And this house is a little bit more difficult for me to build than most because I committed myself to using only base game only content for it. So, yes, the original house only had base game stuff in it, and my remodeled version only had only has base game stuff in it. So pretty much I changed quite a lot of the shape, but I don't know if it's really recognizable when I'm done. The house kind of is different shaped, but the floor plan kind of remains similar on the downstairs, but it changes quite a lot upstairs. So right now I'm doing some railings on what's going to be the front porch actually, and there's a lot of porches on this house like the original, but there's more actually. And I did these nice columns in here, and again it's all base game. So the original house was 2 bedrooms, and I believe it was 2.5 baths. I'm not sure. I know my finished one though is 3 bedrooms, and I think it's 3.5 bathrooms. So I've added like an extra bedroom and an extra bathroom in it. Despite that, the house actually isn't that much larger on the outside, I don't think. But just the floor plan, I kind of optimized it for an extra bedroom and such. And it's also got a much larger kitchen as well. Because as you'll see later, I actually end up switching the kitchen and dining room because it made more sense. So you'll see that. So right now I'm still working on the shape of the house. You can still see it has like the deck, the front porch, and like L-shaped shape, kind of like on the corner here, which I think actually looks really nice. I do like the way the house looks at the end. I like the location, the way it's kind of on the corner, which I think is pretty nice. I also add a deck on the back, or a porch rather. I add this on the back because I only have like a little teeny step, like back step on it, so I ended up adding a whole porch to it, kind of make it a bit nicer. So right now I'm doing colors. As you can see, the original house was like this very bright yellow, and I ended up doing white, blue, and gray as the final color, though I do add some colors. Like you can see there's the blue fences, like blue accents on the fences and columns. And I have a red front door, and I have yellow shutters. The only reason I use yellow on the shutters is because the original house was yellow, so you'll see that. I was originally going to do red brick, but it just looked disgusting. So I ended up using gray brick, which I think was from the original house. I don't know though, because I found it like on the inside of a foundation or something. Yeah, right there, that brick there, which I quite liked. It's like a nice little accent, because I didn't like the stone. So you'll see how that comes along. So this is a little balcony over the master bedroom. Not over the master bedroom, off the master bedroom, sorry. So the parents can come out and, just look out their balcony. It's not really much of a view, but, it's a nice little feature to have. Right now I'm choosing a roof color, going through quite a lot of choices. And, yeah, right here I do this little bit that comes out over the center. I don't know, it's just, it's a little architectural detail. I ended up making it blue shortly. I don't know what I'm doing here. Yeah, so you can see I make it blue. It looks quite nice. I like the colors I used. They're very different than the original house, but I do like them. So you can see I got the blue, the white, and the gray going on right now. Yeah, there I go. I changed out all the stone for that. And at this point, I wanted to have some color, so I was going to leave the yellow at this part of the house, like this little, I don't know what you call it, this little section of the house. I was going to leave it yellow, but it looked so disgusting. I ended up just making it blue, I think, blue or white, just because it wasn't working. So right here I'm just changing the shape of this little bay window because I didn't like the shape of the original one. Yeah, so that's pretty much the exterior colors, sorry, coming together. I'm almost finished them. Yeah, here I go. I changed the yellow to blue because the yellow just didn't fit in with the cool colors of the rest of the outside, so I just changed that up. So at this point I think I'm going to be doing windows, perhaps. No, I'm not. I'm just touching up some paint, and yeah, I'm doing the edge of the roof there. And here we go. This is windows. Yeah, the base game I discovered doesn't have that many windows. It's very limited. So I went with those, which I thought were nice as like a big window off that front bit. And the rest of the house uses these much smaller windows, those right there with some little yellow shutters on them, which I actually like the yellow shutters quite a lot. I mean, red would have probably looked a little bit better, but I wanted to keep the yellow from the original house. So that yellow there is actually the yellow from the original house. That was a nice little feature there that kind of connected it to the original house, maybe. I don't know. So there we go, just adding in all the little windows with their shutters. I never use the shutters, actually. I don't know why, I just never do. So this is like one of the first houses in years I've made that I've actually used shutters on. But I did think they turned out quite nicely. It adds some color to the house, because it's all very gray and blue, and the yellow kind of is a nice pop of color on the outside of the house. So right here on this bay window thing, I didn't know what to do. I ended up using a bay window, if that makes sense. It's like a window that is a bay window. It's not like made out of walls. Yeah, that thing right there. The only annoying thing about that is the roof on it. You have to change the color of the creative style, and it took forever to make it match the actual roof of the house, but I got there in the end. Yeah, down here I'm just doing some large windows there, and there's the front door, I believe. I do make it red to add some more color. So I like the red and the yellow together. Like the yellow of the shutters with the red of the front door, and the blue, I think all goes very nice together. All the primary colors, red, yellow, and blue. And so right there I'm just putting in some more windows, and some nice large windows on that bay window at the back. Yeah, so the living room and the dining room, they both have bay windows, which is pretty nice. Lets some nice light in. So a little French door off the living room to the back deck. Some more windows there, and some more shutters, of course. And here's the other bay window off the dining room. And yeah, I think that's it for windows. I put a couple doors to this balcony, though I change it later. And yes, so I think that's the windows done, and we're just going to put in some front steps, which is nice. Get those front steps going, and back steps as well. The deck, I was originally going to do like a really light blue, but it was really horrible looking. So I ended up going with a dark wood, which looked quite a lot nicer than that blue. Yeah, I don't know why I did that. It didn't look very nice at all. So you'll see I go through and I do change the decking. Yeah, there it is. There, it's kind of got a nice dark, rich color on it now. And I'm going to put some stairs here to the little car parking spot, which is going to be, I don't know, it's going to be over there where it originally was. So right now I'm doing landscaping, and I didn't think it was going to turn out good, because I know the base game hasn't got that many plants in it, so I was concerned. But it actually turned out really nicely, and this is one of my favorite houses I've ever done in recent times, and considering its base game, I'm quite impressive. I'm quite impressed with that. Yeah, so here's the trees. It was a little bit difficult to make the base game trees look like there's not too much repetitiveness going on, because they only have a few good ones. But, you know, I got a couple spruce trees on the other side of the front door, some bamboo just to add a little bit of flair, and there's some bushes. I put in both bushes, the lighter colored ones and the darker ones, you know, a little bit of variation. And then there comes the flowers. I think I only used yellow flowers and dark red flowers, those right there, and some rocks in there. And it actually looked nice. I mean, I was surprised, considering there's like not that much difference in the plant types. There's only like the same plant being used over and over, but it still turned out pretty nicely. I got some little orange plants in there as well, some dirt terrain painting to make it look all fancy, and yeah, that's pretty much the front yard. I go do the backyard later, kind of like near the middle, which is kind of an interesting way of doing it, but yeah. I also put some sunflowers around the poles, or columns rather, to make it look like little vine things growing up it, which I thought was a nice little touch. And right here I'm doing the entranceway, and here's where I change out the kitchen and dining room. You can see the kitchen was where the bay window was, and I move the dining room there. But I think it was a better layout, because now the kitchen's square and it doesn't have that giant bay window in it, which made no sense. Yeah, so I think that was a welcome change. Right here, that's going to be the half bathroom, and the living room stays where it is. Yeah, so that's pretty much the final layout on the first floor. There's a fireplace, And for once, I actually left the brick chimney there because I liked the red of it. It kind of added more color to the outside. I went with the red front door as well. So right here I'm doing the upstairs layout. As I said before, it ends up being 3 bedrooms up here, which turns out pretty good. They're all decent sized. And the master bedroom stays where it originally was, so that didn't actually get changed. So right here I'm doing the entranceway, and I have this nice white wood flooring, and I left this little detail in the floor, and like in the center here, because I really liked it. I like those little square, I don't know what you call them, floor tiles. So I used those in the center of the room, which I quite liked, and on the walls I went with stripes, I believe. I think I do horizontal stripes. I do blue horizontal stripes with a yellow strip at the top. The only reason I did yellow at the top is, again, because the original house was so yellow on the outside. I thought it was kind of like a little, I don't know, just that's why I did it. So the entrance, it's got, just a little sitting area. There's a little table, a little plant. That plant there appears everywhere in the house because it's like my favorite plant from the base game, and like I just use it everywhere. So I was trying to find something to go there. I really wish there was a coat hook, but even with all the expansions and stuff packs, there's still no coat hook. I don't know what's going on with that. But no, I just had to leave it empty. So I got this nice bright red couch going on here with a little chair. I think I keep it brown. Yeah, and a little table. So that's pretty much the entrance. Furniture-wise, I believe I do put a plant there. There's the plant and a little painting. Well, it's not actually very little. Pretty large painting with some lights. And yeah, so that's pretty much the entrance. I put in some curtains to make it look a little bit more luxurious. I got the yellow on the curtains. And I think I come back and do a little bit more detailing in the entrance. But that's, I think, after I do the living room. So you'll see that later on down the line. But as of now, I'm putting in some lighting and a door to the bathroom, which is quite convenient because otherwise there's no way I get to the bathroom. So I use blue doors throughout the house, just because I did that. A little painting with some lights, and changing the color of the stairs so it actually matches the floorboards, and some more curtains, sorry. Well, actually it's a curtain, so I kind of messed that one up, sorry about that. But anyway, here's the bathroom. So it's got the same wallpapers outside in the hallway, and I did very bright tiles on the countertop. And I also went a little bit crazy with the fixtures and fittings. I went with gold. Gold sink and a gold toilet. So, a little bit unique. And there's some nice dark wood cabinets and little towels, little mats on the floor, and a little painting. So that's pretty much the half bath. And I believe I do the kitchen next. I love the kitchen, actually. It turned out really nicely. I got, it's like a galley style. It's got counters on each side with a center island. But, I mean, the favorite part about the kitchen I did is the bar stools. You'll see those later. I do really colorful bar stools, which I actually think turned out really nicely. So right now I'm just putting in the appliances. I go with older appliances for some reason. And I use those little classic overhead cabinets, the cheapest overhead cabinets. You'll pretty much probably find in almost all starter homes. But they kind of fit in, so I use them, and I got the little stove in there, and a little sink, and I guess the tiles? Yeah, I do the tiles now. I got some nice crisp white tiles on the back splash on all the walls, and some lighting, of course. You need lights. Okay, here's the bar stools. Only one of these bar stools is usable. It's the blue one, I believe. You can see there's the blue one. Yeah, I love the colors of those. They're not really bright. They're just they're so nice. I just like those colors. The blue one is the only one that's usable though, because it's the one that's straight. All the others are on angles. Your Sims can't actually use them. But I don't know. They just kind of added a nice color to the kitchen, because otherwise it was all very brown and white and gray. So I thought it added some nice color. I had a little air conditioner and electrical box outside just for an extra detail. And here's the dining room. I got the terracotta tiles in there. And, I've just popped out to the back deck. Very good. What am I doing? Oh, I'm doing a little balcony there. And, we're going outside. Yes, so now you can see how I build. I actually did half of the inside, and then I popped back to the outside, which is very interesting. I don't know why I did that. But here's the gazebo. I like the gazebo. I thought it was a nice little touch. You can see I'm doing it here. The way I did this backyard is that you actually have to go through the gazebo to get to the patio, as you'll see. So I have a nice little pathway going on, and a little patio I put in on the other side, just changing the pathway. Yeah, there's a nice little patio right here, but you actually have to go through the gazebo to get to the patio because I put a ton of plants right there, right here in the center. I did it on purpose because I kind of wanted to make the gazebo more functional, because otherwise Sims would never use it unless you instructed them to go there. So I made it kind of like they have to walk through the gazebo to get to the patio, which I thought was nice. Here's a little pond, just to fill up the space. And I also put a bunch of trees along the back. If you can see, there's like a row of trees along the very back of the backyard. And I did that because the town hall is like right there. It's like the next lot over. So, you might want a little bit of privacy in your backyard. You don't want all the office workers peering over into your backyard. So, I put some row of trees there. But right here is the outdoor dining table. And that's really as far as I go outside. Just got a patio with a dining table on it. I don't believe I put a grill. But, yeah, I put a little lounger in the gazebo. And I have some outdoor lights, I believe. Yeah, I do all the porch lighting here. And that's pretty much the outside finished, I believe. A little bit of terrain painting, of course. That's always necessary. And I'm also doing black in the foundation, just because I like it to be neat and clean. So, it looks like the foundation isn't there, kind of, if that makes sense. I don't know. So, we're hopping back inside to the dining room, and I do the colorful chairs in here. I brought in those kind of colorful pastel colors from the kitchen Barstools, and I use them here in the dining room. And I got the floor, the terracotta tile floor, even though it doesn't look like that. I think it is. I go for some green wallpaper in here, which kind of worked well. It's kind of like a light kind of green, which I think is this kind of similar color that was on that green chair. I have like a little side table there thing, made out of cabinets, and a little patterned chair. And I also put a couple of potted plants there in the bay window and some curtains. And yeah, that's pretty much the dining room. It's pretty simple. I put a rug under the table as well, because I need a little bit more detail. Also, that terracotta tile is probably very cold, so you'd probably want a little bit of warmth. Where did I do the rug? Right here. So there's the rug, and that's the dining room done. So right now I'm going to do the living room, and I got the same tiles in here. And I was originally going to do yellow walls or orange walls, but it just didn't look right. I didn't like it, so I ended up going with like a yellowy green kind of color, like a light lime. Which doesn't sound the best, but it actually turned out pretty nicely. I really like the living room. The living room and the master bedroom are like my two favorite rooms in the house. So right here, I'm just changing the color of the walls. As you can see, I just changed it to like a light yellowy green, and there's the fireplace, which I think turned out pretty nicely. It's just, I like the bricks on the back wall, which I thought was a nice little detail, added detail to the room. I got these nice sofas in here, actually a sofa and a couple of chairs, little coffee table. I do like the living room, mainly because of the rugs, courtesy of Deligracy Designs. I really love the way that she uses little rugs. Like, you'll see I do that. There's like these little 1x1 round rugs, which I use them in multiple rooms, and I just change the color of them and scatter them around instead of just using one big rug. And it actually looks really nice. I do like that. So you'll see, there's a nice big square one under the coffee table, but then I scatter these little smaller ones around the room, which I think I don't know, I just like it. I just thought it turned out really nicely. There's a little stereo with a painting over it, and there's little rugs. And I changed the color of them all, so they're all different. I don't know why, but I think they just look really nice. Yeah, so that's pretty much the living room. I think it turned out pretty nicely. I put a little coffee table in the entrance, and I think that's the first floor done. So we're going to be moving upstairs now. I think the master bedroom is the first bedroom I do. And I do like that as well. It also uses those little circular rugs. So we'll see that in just a moment. So this is the little landing here. Nothing really up there. Actually, there's nothing at all. But, it's a little landing. It's actually bigger than the original house's landing, which is a nice little fact. So this is going to be the master bedroom here. I used the same wallpaper color, like the same blue and white stripes, and got a nice large bed in there. And um, yeah. So got like a pinkish wood on that. I don't know, like a salmon colored wood, kind of. And I found that bedspread, which I really liked. I used that, and I draw some colors from it around the rest of the room, which looks really cool. I like the colors. I got this aqua colored chair in here, which was an interesting and daring move, but I do like it. And I believe I put a little desk in that corner there. I have to remove the door because the chair couldn't place, so I covered the door, put in a couple windows, and that was that. So that's the same pattern on it as the bedspread, which kind of draws them together. And yeah, I really like this room. It's my favorite bedroom, and I'm amazed at how I did with only base game content with this house, because there's so little in the base game. It's like amazing how did we ever survive back in 2009? But it turned out pretty well. I'm quite pleased with it. I think it turned out very nicely. But anyway, almost on the master here. Got some orange lights, and there's the little rugs, which I quite liked. I got some nice patterns on them. I got some diamonds, little diamonds, in multiple colors, and yeah, so that's pretty much the little rugs. I kind of like them. I think they're pretty neat. So there's little rugs and some lights. I got the classic base game fancy lighting there, and that's pretty much that. Next, I'm doing the guest bathroom upstairs, because I decided to do that before the master bathroom for some reason. This one's got a gold tub in it, as well with the gold toilet and gold sink, which is interesting, but I did that in here as well. And yeah, so it's pretty simple, just toilet, tub, shower, sink. It's got all the essentials in it, but in a nice little teeny room, just tacked off the hallway. But I think that's pretty nice. Anyway, right here I'm doing the master bathroom. I actually like that tile floor. I like the different blues in it. I think it's pretty neat. But this actually has chrome colored fixtures and fittings, which is nice. A little bit different. So that's pretty much the master bathroom. Got a double mirror going on here. A big one in the back and a small one in the front of it. Kind of like, I don't even know how you do that, how you detach two mirrors together, but that's what I've done here. And some little lights, which kind of clip through the mirror a bit, but they look okay. And a little painting over the toilet, and a little toilet paper roll, which is something I always do. Can't forget the toilet paper roll. And some rugs. So that's pretty much the master bathroom. And we're moving on to what was originally going to be a guest bedroom, but the colors went a bit crazy. I go with orange and green wallpaper right there. No, it's orange and blue. Orange and blue wallpaper, and then I got this really brightly colored bedspread. So it kind of, I don't know, it's a bit bold for a guest room, but if you download the house, which will obviously work in anyone's game because it's all base game, which is fabulous, you can always go and just change the colors in here. The only thing I struggle with the base game is the lack of paintings. I ran out of paintings very early on, and I had to keep reusing them, which is a bit annoying, but it's alright. And they don't really have any good posters in this either, because I was doing a kids room, and they just don't have good posters, so it was a bit of an issue. But anyway, I got that cow patterned couch in there behind the screen, and some bright blue curtains, and that finishes off that room. And I love this little rug design here. It's like a little flower shaped, or I don't know, it could be anything really. I don't know why I like that a lot. I thought it was a cool little touch. And some lime green lighting, because that just to add a little bit of flair. And next we're going to be doing the little girl's bedroom. So it's very pink, very pink actually. I don't think I've ever done such a pink room, but yeah, it's got a bunch of toys in it and all that other such things that would make sense to be in a kid's room. So you got the pink bedspread, a little side table, and there's a little door to the bathroom. Yeah, and yeah, she's got her own bathroom as well, which is pretty fancy. Yeah, the posters was an issue with this room because the lack of posters, I just didn't really know what to do. So on one wall, you'll see I end up just using the same poster 3 times with different colored frames, because that was all I could do. A little pink guitar. Yeah, here's what I do with the bunnies, the dancing bunnies. As you can see, each frame gets darker, but I just had to use 3 of them because there was no other posters that were appropriate, so that's a little bit of an issue. But here come the toys, little toy chest and some little toys in the corner, which are probably a bit off for the age of this sim, because if it's a girl, you know, those are like toddler's toys, but it really does not matter. Anyway, that's just finishing up this room. I put a little lamp on the table, and I used the little circle rugs in here as well. You can see all in the little different pink shades. But yes, we're moving on to the bathroom for this bedroom, and I like the little stone flooring in there. I think it looks nice, and a little tile countertop, and a little mirror. This bathroom actually hasn't got a shower. It's just a tub. It's got a nice clawfoot bathtub in it, but I don't know. I just wanted to do something a little bit different in here. So it's got a clawfoot tub, and yeah, so that's pretty much what I did with this bathroom. And I got the little what do you call it? Little towels there, and a little chest for storing more towels. And yeah, so that's pretty much the bathroom for that. And yes, so right now I'm doing like the under roof parts, and this marks the end of the video. Well, actually the end of the building part of the video, rather. After this, there will be some before and after pictures for, well, kind of like, not really pictures, like moving shots or whatever, for you to enjoy, so you can watch those. So I like those. That's my favorite part of the video. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed the building part of this video, and I hope you enjoyed the part that comes after this. So everybody, hope you have a wonderful day. Check out my channel, because I have quite a lot more videos like this one there for your enjoyment, of course. So just moving around some stuff outside, landscape lighting, of course, always important. And yes, hope you have a wonderful day, and I hope you enjoy the rest of this video.